4 interceptions are, just part of his problem. We're going to see in a moment the other part of his problem. Is what the quarterbacks get paid so much for. Gregory hitting him pretty good.
And Gregory, of course, led the...
Well, hello. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to check out this video. And welcome to the Gridiron. And before I get started, just want to say thank you so much to everyone out there who's been watching my videos. Thank you. If you can maybe give this video a thumbs up or possibly leave a comment below or maybe even share this video, it would mean so much to me. But anyway, just thank you so much for just taking time out of your day to check out this video. Thank you. Well, the New York Giants, rounds 2 and 3, wrap them up. Little mixed baggage, I can say. I mean, after round 1, after Thursday, 5 and 7, Kayvon and Evans, it's just like out of the park, grand slam. It was like, and then I don't know if you want to come back down to earth. It's just a little disappointing because there's players that were out there, with bigger names, maybe better potential, and we didn't seem to grab any of them, so a little mixed baggage there. But all right, so after all the smoke cleared and the dust settled and everything like that, the Giants had their 3 picks. All right, they took wide receiver Wandale Robinson, okay, guard Joshua Ezeudu, and cornerback Cordale Flott. I mean, I follow PFF, okay? I go with their, there's a boatload of them out there. Not everybody likes PFF. Not everybody likes this. Not everybody I follow PFF. I go with their board and all of that and everything. But, I also look at other, mock drafts and, podcasts and, all kinds of stuff. Every day I'm listening to something. Every day I'm listening to a couple, But, it's just where they picked, it's I don't know. It just seemed like I don't know. Maybe could have done a little better. It is what it is. But also, this is the part, obviously, where some of the players, the picks, maybe don't quite line up. Maybe like in the first round, the first 5 or 10, 15 picks, a lot of, the guys that are going to go, you just don't maybe even know what order. But once you start getting into the second or third round and later on, some of them, Giants take so-and-so, wide receiver from Tulsa. You'll be like, oh, okay, yeah, that's a good pick, man. A lot of these guys you don't know about. Now, these guys here, okay, just from going over PFF, because what I do is I look at, I'm looking at the guards, okay? I'm looking at the top 15 guards or so or whatever. If I'm looking at cornerbacks, I'm looking at the top 15 or 20 cornerbacks, according to PFF. Same thing with the wide receivers, the top 20, maybe 25, because there's a lot of wide receivers, you know what I mean? So I'm familiar with the names, not maybe, all what they can do, what their statistics were and all that, but I have heard of these guys, all right? But I said, but some of them, it's like, you think they're supposed to go maybe in the 3rd or 4th round, and somebody takes them in the 2nd, or somebody takes somebody who was supposed to be, vice versa. Maybe somebody should have gone, maybe in the 2nd. You got like Nakobe Dean, the linebacker. He should have been like, possibly, some people would think maybe a 1st or 2nd round, But it is what it is. But you just want to just wait till rounds 4 to 7, okay? When a lot of those guys start coming off the board, you're like, who's that guy? From Wichita State. Who is I said, but my problem with the first one, anyway, because with Wandale Robinson, all right, a lot of mocks, PFF, the mocks that I saw, I can't say so much that I specifically saw where he was mocked to, but I mean, like in BFF, they got him. He's not a second rounder, according to them. I mean, it is. But I mean, you look at like mock drafts, and I don't remember I seen anybody had him in the second round. It was more like maybe possibly, I guess quite possibly maybe like a third round pick. Now the thing is that John Mechie from Alabama, George Pickens from Georgia, Sky Moore, from Western Michigan, they were all projected to go way before him. I mean, they were all there on the board. So, and I didn't see any mock drafts at all where Wandale Robinson went in the second round. It is what it is, right? Now, he did have some very impressive numbers, without question, in 2021. He had 104 receptions, 1,342 yards, 7 touchdowns, right? He didn't average, he only averaged like 12, 13 yards of reception, so nothing crazy, but, he's kind of like an ankle breaker. He's kind of like another little joystick there, like Kadarius Toney. I mean, you look at some of them, it's like, he catches the ball, he runs, and some guys comes in, to make a tackle, and he makes a move, and the guy misses him. The guys try to converge on him, he just gets out of the way. Not quite maybe as explosive as Kadarius Toney is, but he's very, very shifty. But also the thing is that he's projected to be like in a slot. Now, as I said, we got like Sterling Shepard, we got Kadarius Toney, who's good in the slot. Why kind of grabbing maybe another guy in the slot? I mean, I don't know if this might be Shepard's last year with us. I mean, who knows? I don't know if we're trying to, send a message to Kadarius Toney. Who knows? But, I would have thought that maybe possibly George Pickens might have been the better choice. I mean, if you got Kenny Golladay one side, maybe George Pickens on the other, somebody tall, big, on the outside, and then instead you got maybe Sterling Shepard, and Kadarius Toney, or you flip-flop where you got one of them in there at a slot, I would have thought that would have been better, but now it's kind of like, I don't know. They know what they're doing. He's not very big either. He's 5'8". So I mean, somehow he managed to hang in there enough to catch 104 receptions this year. So but I mean, he's not a very big receiver. So hopefully he can take the pounding. All right. But also according to PFF, all right, let's jump by PFF. Right, he graded out his grade, right, his receiving grade. He was the third highest graded receiver out of 1,007 wide receivers that they graded. He graded out at 91.3. Right, he was the third out of 1,007 wide receivers. So, I mean, take it for what it is. I mean, as I said, you look at his film. I mean, he's pretty dynamic. He's pretty exciting. Now, as I said, I mean, you can certainly see. I mean, because Shepard, if he can stay healthy, has his own skill set. Kadarius Toney is like a freaking joystick out there. Wandale Robinson would be almost like a joystick out there. Now you can also see the benefit maybe of getting maybe a Saquon Barkley out into a pattern or something like that. Now we got, I said this last year too, so I know I'm going to kick myself in the morning for saying this, but we got a couple, a little excitement there as far as weapons. Now whether they stay healthy or not, or whatever, who knows? But, you can certainly see where there might be a little bit of excitement going on, okay? Then after Wandale, then we got, took Joshua Ezeudu from North Carolina, all right? Now, he played, he played both tackles in his career in North Carolina. This past season, he played 274 snaps at left tackle, 459 snaps at left guard, okay? For the season, he gave up 2 sacks and 2 hurries. I think it was 12 hits he gave up too, as well. Okay, so in 426 pass blocking snaps, he only gave up 2 sacks. So, not certainly super horrible. You know, nice size, 6'4", 308 pounds. I mean, he could probably use to put on a little bit of weight, you know, a little more muscle, but he profiled out to be a guard in the, you know, not a tackle. But I mean, it's nice to see that he played both tackles in college, and he also played guard too. So I mean, you know, versatility. That's huge. All right. Now he had a very good pass season, very good blocking grade. You know, he graded out at an 83, which I think I read was the 3rd highest in the ACC as far as guards. Okay, so you know, he had a nice run blocking grade. All right. If nothing else, we have we have Glowinski for 3 years. I think we can get out of his contract in 2. I'm not sure about that, but he is signed for 3. So you know we got you got Neal, right, 1 tackle. You got Andrew Thomas at the other. You got Glowinski at 1 guard. Okay. Now Lemieux should be back from he was injured, but he should certainly be back. All right, now I don't know what their plans are. Obviously, they're not going to give the job to just anybody. You know, you got to go in there and you got to earn it, obviously. But let the best man win at the other guard. Right now, whoever that might want to be in. But and now we also have I mean, if Ezeudu doesn't win the job, right? We have some good. We got some depth, and he's young too. He's only 22. So I mean, what it projects out to be is that, if worse comes to worse with him, I'm reading, okay, is that he could certainly be a very decent backup. Somebody you can certainly put in there and rely on. I mean, is he going to be a world beater and be an all-pro and all that? Probably not. But he's best at guard, okay, and for everything I'm reading, all right, as I said, if he never turns out to be a real unbelievable solid starter, what I'm reading is that he's be a decent backup. Okay, so I mean, at least we're getting some depth. All right, you're not going to rebuild the whole, especially with the salary cap situation that we were in, with all the frickin' holes that the Giants have. You're not going to rebuild. I mean, the offensive line in 1 year. I mean, that just wasn't going to happen. I mean, you could, but then you would be totally, we wouldn't have Kayvon Thibodeau. Maybe we wouldn't have some other guys. Everybody we would have signed and everybody we'd be drafting would be offensive line. Then we'd have maybe an offensive line. Yeah, that's cool. But then we wouldn't have. We'd be hurting in other positions too. So it's going to take time. It's going to probably take at least another year or 2 or whatever before we get a little more situated. Especially finding out, like, Nick Gates, can he come back? Can he man the center position once again? Who knows? But at least we do know, okay, at least we know we got our 2 tackles for quite some time, okay? So that's better than nothing, all right? Now, as I said, our second, 3rd round pick that we want to pick, all right? We want to take Cordale Flott from cornerback, right, from LSU. All right, decent, nothing super spectacular. He played a lot in the Flott played a lot in the slot. I was kind of hoping though that we would wind up taking like maybe Andrew Booth Jr. from Clemson in the 2nd round, but especially with initially our first 2nd round pick. Then we traded back 2 spots with the Jets, okay, and we picked up a 5th. Okay, so then when it came to there, Booth was still available. Then we wound up trading back again to with the Falcons, all right, at number 43. So it got, the picks kept going, and Booth was still there. I'm like, oh, maybe we can take Booth, But then the Vikings at number 42 wound up taking Booth. So I was kind of hoping, But even then, when we got to 43, I guess the majority of the good ones were pretty much gone. Kyler Gordon, the cornerback from Washington, he was taken at number 36. You know, if we had originally just stayed where we were at originally, we didn't trade with anybody, we could have had Booth, we could have had Gordon. You know, that would have been interesting to see if we didn't trade back who we would have taken. Like if we stayed at our original pick, the 4th overall selection in the 2nd round, if we didn't trade back twice, would we have taken Robinson, the wide receiver, or would we have taken somebody else? You know, I said I was kind of hoping maybe because sooner or later Bradbury's going to be gone. You need a cornerback to take his spot. Now the same thing with Adoree Jackson. Is he going to be here forever? Who knows? You need somebody to take his spot. You know, but at least with the 2 trades that we had. Okay, we traded back 2 times. All right, so we traded back with the Jets and with the Falcons. The Giants, as I said, they got an extra 5th rounder from the Jets, and they got an extra 4th rounder from the Falcons. All right, so now the Giants have in the 4th round coming up. Right, we got 2 early picks in the 4th round. Right, we got pick number 112 overall, which is the 7th pick in the 4th round, and then we got pick number 114, 2 picks later. We got the 9th pick in the 4th round. So in the 4th round, we got 2 early picks in the 4th round. Then we go to the rest of the 4th round, we got nothing. Then when the 5th round rolls around, we got 2 more early picks. We got pick number 146, which is the 3rd pick. Actually, we got back-to-back picks. Cool. We got 146, which is the 3rd pick in the 5th round, and then we got pick 147, which is the 4th pick overall in the 5th round. All right, then we go a little bit. We got to wait a little bit. All right, and then we got pick number 173, which is the 30th pick in the 5th round. But in the 5th round, we got 3 selections. Okay, then we wrap it all up for us anyway. We're an early pick in the 6th round. All right, we got pick number 182, which is the 3rd pick in the 6th round. So by the time the 3rd pick in the 6th round comes, we're done. All right. So you got to look at it. We're going to have 11 picks out of the top 182. That's pretty good. It's a nice, deep class. Okay. Now, I mean, don't expect any super spectacular, phenomenal talent to be taken tomorrow. I mean, whoever we get just might be some good quality depth, or as I said, we might be able to take, somebody and maybe, bring them along, and maybe they might be a starter somewhere down along the line. Who knows? But I mean, Shane did pretty good. I mean, as I said, with the 3 picks that we got, I would have liked to have gotten a cornerback earlier, because I would rather have had like Booth, or I said like Kyler Gordon, instead of Flott, because I mean, at least maybe with Booth or Gordon, they could be more of a kind of plug and play kind of guy. Flott might be just some depth, So I mean, it is what it is. But I mean, moving back, we got 2 extra picks, so he'll start putting more and more of his own players, guys he wants to build his team around and all and everything. So 11 out of the top 182 is pretty darn gone good. So you can't complain about that. He's always said he wanted more bites at the apple. He's got a whole bunch of bites at the apple. And it's 11 out of the top 182. So that's very, very good. So now look for tomorrow, all right? I said we got 6 picks, right? I can certainly see us maybe trying to double dip. I mean, I certainly can't say we're done with the offensive line, but we brought in a bunch of free agents on the offensive line. We drafted 2, okay, 1 in the 1st round and 1 in the 3rd round. All right, so we added some in the draft. All right, so I'm saying, but look at maybe another wide receiver possibly, because we got 6 picks. All right, so there's still going to be some decent wide receivers out there without question. We need a safety. Yeah. So, I mean, I was kind of a little shocked, we didn't grab a safety yet either. Okay, so look for a safety. We got 2 safeties. Now, as I said, without question, there's the free agent draft after the other college. The guys who let them get drafted, we can maybe pick somebody out, a couple guys up there without question. But what kind of, top quality safety you're going to get, So that's why I was kind of hoping maybe we would have drafted a safety already. But, out of one of these 6 picks, look for a safety. Right? Also, look for a tight end too. I've seen a couple tight ends went off the board. I was kind of like, we missed him, and then another guy went, we missed him. But there's still some decent guys out there. And I said, without question, all right, we got the 7th and 9th pick in the 4th round. Look for us to grab maybe a safety and a tight end. That would be fantastic. All right. I said, if nothing else with the safety, gets maybe some decent depth, right? But look for a tight end. There's still some tight ends out there. There's a couple guys who are good blockers. Okay, so I'm not saying we're going to grab that, but I mean, look for a safety or look for a tight end. I don't know what we're going to wind up doing as far as a running back. Because we have some running, we have some depth at running back. I mean, if Saquon can stay healthy, we do have some depth at running back. We don't need a quarterback. I said maybe not a running back. Okay. We did enough on the offensive line, so I'm saying so maybe double dipping on another wide receiver. I could see that. Hopefully a tight end. Hopefully. Then on the defensive side, okay, as I said, we got a cornerback. I mean, we have quite a few cornerbacks. All right, we have a decent amount, especially if we can't get rid of Bradbury. We're going to have a decent amount of cornerbacks. All right. Then we said we got edge rushers. All right, we got Azeez and we got Kayvon. Now after that, the quality of the depth we have on the edge rushers, with Carter Coughlin, Quincy Roche had a couple of sacks last year. I mean, Ellerson Smith, Oshane Ximines. I mean, this might be his last year with the Giants. We got a couple other guys, but it's just depth. Nothing fantastic. Fantastic depth on the edge / outside linebacker. However you want to put it. But at least our starting 2 are very, very good. As I said, a safety, maybe somebody, more like an inside linebacker. Maybe to help out, maybe give. We got Tay Crowder, we got Blake Martinez. We got a couple other guys, but maybe grab another linebacker. The only other thing I can see would be maybe a little depth on the defensive front there. You got Leonard Williams, you got Dexter Lawrence. But maybe get there's somebody out there that really catches their eye. Maybe grab somebody on the defensive front there to maybe get some good quality depth, some good young, cheap quality depth. Because cheap that's why another thing is the Giants trading back because they get a lot of picks later on, 6 right in day 3. But all of the guys are cheap. It's not like we're picking a first round pick. So it's like $4, $5, $6 million a year because we can't afford it, right? But I said, but certainly without question, look for tomorrow, to get a tight end and a safety because those 2 positions were a little thin, especially the safety. Well, as always, guys, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to check out this video. You guys stay safe out there and go Giants! Woo!